Yeah.
So I want to tell people the story about my wedding since we're on the wedding topic. So my wedding, and I've told the story in my act numerous times, but so we're getting married, right? My wedding was a complete fiasco when I got married. One, the preacher walked out of our wedding. He said, well, I don't do weddings, they'll start on time. Jeez. And then the bakery dropped our cake. We had a 5-tier cake, and the lady slipped. Was you there when she dropped it?
Yeah, it was fucked up. yeah.
How did that work? I want to give a visual to everybody.
Teetering, and they just didn't catch it. Went right over.
Well, here's what I'm going through. So we get married. We get to the wedding. The preacher wasn't there. That was weird. So then we're waiting to get announced like most people are. So me and Kenya are just sitting there with the 3 groomsmen and bridesmaids. I didn't have 9, I had 3.
3.
We're sitting there, and they won't let us into the hall. We're like, why aren't they letting us into the hall? Well, when I walk out, somebody got in my ear and goes, the lady dropped the cake. I went, what? So I looked over. I just saw the sheet. There was no longer 5 tiers. It was a sheet. So I said, hide that from Kenya because she's going to freak out a little bit. So they pulled the cake back to the side. But I never got the story. Was it one lady carrying it?
No, it started teetering, and you know how
was it one lady?
Like
how many people was carrying it?
It was 2 people, but it just domino effect.
What
was gone?
What'd the crowd do? everybody at the reception hall.
Like nothing happened.
Really?
Yeah, just.
So you got these people cleaning up our cake?
Yeah, pretty much. I got the hell out of there because I knew what was going to happen. Kenya would have hit the roof. You made a good move, big time.
So. They're carrying the cake in. Was it leaning immediately, or did they?
No,
flip?
it just this portion went down, and it was like it was over. There's no saving it. It was over. It's a train wreck.
So okay, so I want to give everybody a visual. So keep in mind, you plan. Everybody plans their wedding because they want it to be perfect. So preacher walked out. Okay, we got through that. We had another guy that his name was Melvin. He provided over the service. It's my wife's cousin. And then the baker dropped our cake. All right, we get through that. So now everything's, we're in a groove now. The music's playing, everything's good. And then my stepdad sucker punches you.
Yeah, no shit.
My stepdad sucker punches my dad
Jesus.
at the wedding.
Hey.
What were you doing? Because honestly, up until right now, I've never gotten a full story.
Okay, well, I was, I had a few beers in me, and I noticed he took his coat off, and I'm thinking, uh-oh. And I was trying to not make eye contact with him. So that pissed him off. And he goes, you ain't gonna look at me, motherfucker.
He said what?
He said, you didn't even look at me, asshole. I'm like, man, I'm good. And I turned my back, and I felt this punch go past my chin, and I looked at my brother. I said, did he just hit me? What the fuck? So then he called my brother, you fat fuck, and I'm like, I cannot believe this is happening. And I gave buddy Derek, he
Derek's
saved
my
me.
groomsman.
He saved me because he stopped I didn't get the main blow. So I'm thinking, well, if that's all you got, I
beat your ass.
I whip his ass. But it just was a nightmare. And then they took him outside. And I think Daryl, one of your groomsmen, went out in the parking lot and said, you are leaving. You are going to leave here.
Right.
So, and it was just their wedding was over. It was over after that. I mean, poor Kenya.
Here's the thing. We took, for the people that don't know, my stepdad's crazy as fuck. Literally, he's one of the most irrational individuals I've ever met. So we took great steps to ensure nothing would happen at our wedding.
Right.
I mean, it was a strain because you're trying to plan your wedding, but we're also trying to plan our wedding so nothing happens between you and my stepdad. At no fault of your own, it was my stepdad we was worried about. We weren't worried about you. No. So I literally had to this is where things are kind of fucked up. They come in town. I had to sit down with my stepdad the night before the rehearsal. So the wedding's Saturday. This is Thursday night. This is the first time I'm seeing him. So I had to sit down with him and be like, you're going to be cool, right? Like nothing's going to happen. And he goes, I got it, man. Nah, I'm good. Like he's talking to himself. He goes, no, I got a handle on it. I really think I got this. I got this beat. Oh, and he's almost like, this is going to be good for me to be in a room with you and not.
Oh, yeah.
I just remember my stomach dropped because I was just like, I just don't want them to be in the same room. And it's not your fault. It was just like him. And To the point where at
I
the
didn't see it
rehearsal
coming.
dinner,
No. Yeah.
at the rehearsal, I don't know if you know this. At the rehearsal dinner, we were all eating on like a horseshoe type table. You sat down in between my brother and my sister.
Yeah.
And you're having conversations with them.
I was talking to him. I mean,
yeah, you was good.
I was fine. You know,
you didn't realize that I'm sitting the whole time with sweat beads on my head because I'm looking back at Rod to make sure he doesn't do anything crazy because your guys' backs are to each other. So the table's like a horseshoe and you guys are on the inside of the table. So your backs are, he's facing like a window and you're facing a wall with your backs to each other. The whole time you're eating, he's going, hey, don't talk to him. Hey, don't he's talking. He's talking to Dallas and Asher, my brother and sister.
Yeah.
He's going, hey, don't talk to them. Don't talk to him. And it got to a point where everyone was ignoring him.
I didn't hear that.
So when everybody ignored him, he just gave up. Because Kenya's family, my wife's family were just laughing and cutting up. All my friends and
we
my
were
family.
cutting up.
Right. Everybody was.
Everybody was. It
But
was
he
a
kept saying,
festive mood.
hey,
I mean, geez.
Hey, don't talk to him. Don't talk. But it got to a
Crazy
point we would not stop eating. He kept looking back. He just kept looking back.
Unbelievable. So I almost got hit that and I didn't even know it.
Right.
Like, jeez. Right.
And then at the wedding, we sat my mom and my stepdad on the other side of the room.
Yeah.
Now after it was all said and done, what my stepdad told me was he said you looked at him funny. And I went, so now you're telling me I made
a conscious effort not to make eye contact with that asshole because I knew he was getting shit faced and I knew he was getting ready to be violent. I could just tell.
And
I just looked over his head, I was looking around. I mean, maybe he thought that was goofy.
But you said, now you're telling me, he said, you ain't going to look at me, asshole?
That's what he said.
So to me, he said, he looked at me funny.
Now, see.
So what story is it?
It's, problem with stupid people, they don't know they're stupid. And he that's a big problem. And he's crazy. He's just an absolute Looney Tune. What are you going to do? You really can't rationalize with that guy. You can't. Because I wanted that to be perfect for you guys too. I mean, took the twins out there. It was a great time until the wedding.
Yeah.
And then the wedding, everything, big bowl of fuck.
Yeah, big bowl of fuck. I wasn't in the room when he sucker punched you. They literally said, Gary, we're getting ready to do the bouquet in the garter after this song. So I grabbed my brother Dallas and I said, Dallas, let's go have a drink real quick. So we're in this little side bar area, just me and him having a beer, bullshit about nothing. All of a sudden I hear, there's a fight. And I already fucking know.
Oh, you already knew. Already knew.
There wasn't like, I know it's not. And the funny thing is, and I said this in my act, we had security at the wedding, not for us, but it was security that's always there for this this
venue.
Masonic hall where we had. Right. And I called the security guy, pulled him aside. I said, hey, where were you? I said, he goes, dude, no offense, but I was looking at the black people. Because there was like 250 black people and 50 white people.
Yep.
So the last thing you think is going to happen is two white guys getting in a fight.
No doubt.
Or anything happen. And I was like, baby, we're from the trailer park.
Yeah, no doubt.
You got to watch out for us.
Jesus.
But when I heard, this is my version of things. So I hear, there's a fight. And I just looked at Dallas like, fuck.
Here it goes.
So I go out there and all I see, it's hysterical. I see you with your hands up going, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Pretty much.
You're moving around. Yeah. And then I see my mom dragging Rod out and she's got him by his arm. She goes, we're going to walk outside. We're just going to walk outside. Yeah. We're going to walk outside. And then I saw Derek hanging out with you. Yeah. And then Daryl was behind them. My other groomsman, Daryl, he's behind them, walking them outside. And then I don't know what happened. All I know is Daryl came back in. He was like, oh, they ain't coming back. Oh,
there's no doubt about that.
Yeah,
because I was worried he was going to start some more shit. And
they was out. They kicked him out. And then the best is Kenya though. Oh, my wife had the best line. She goes, she walked up to Rod and gave him a little push and was like, "What'd you do?" And then Rod goes, "No, you don't understand. You don't understand." And before he can get a word out, she goes, "Nah, you don't understand, motherfucker. You ain't in Cincinnati. You in Oakland now." And I went, "Oh shit!
Oh my God.
I can't break up if I wanted to."
No.
The fact that she went, no, you don't understand, motherfucker. You ain't in Cincinnati. You are
She went off.
now.
She went off.
You in my neck of the
I
woods.
would not want to get in her wrath at all.
So check out what I have to go through now.
Yeah.
So the fight happens at the wedding, and we're gonna get into another story that happened at the wedding in a second. Because this whole weekend with you losing your wallet just gets better.
Yeah, it does get
So-
better. What a nightmare.
So before that, so the next day, everything calms down. So now the good thing about us, we can always laugh about it a day later. So we're laughing, cutting up about it. So the next day, I got to ride home now. Because we got married in Oakland, but we lived in LA at the time. So we just drove up from LA. But Mom, Rod, and my brothers and sisters, we all rode not in the same car, but we had a 3-car convoy going up, basically. So on the way back, we get to Bakersfield. We stop at a Denny's, and my mom's like, Rod really wants to talk to you. Like, he really wants to explain himself. And I'm like, man, I don't want to ride with this dude. So I'm like, fuck. I said, all right. So now he gets in the car with me, and he's trying to explain himself. And I'm just, all I said, I was like, what happened? Just what happened? He goes, well, and he started to make excuses, and I think he saw my face, and he was like, I was wrong. I was wrong.
Whoa.
So now it gets worse. So then we get back to my house. So we're supposed to leave the next day to go to Vegas for our honeymoon. So he goes, I'm not going to stay here. I'm just going to fly back to Ohio. I shouldn't be at your house. And my mom goes, well, if he goes, I got to go. I got to stand with my husband. And I told my mom, I go, well, if you go, then we can't go on our honeymoon because we don't have nobody to watch the kids.
Watching the kids, yeah.
So she was like, I can't help it. I got to be with my husband. So I basically he can stay here. I'm not mad. I said, we got to go somewhere. You got to stay here. And he looks so I really thought, I thought that might, and the optimist in me thought that might be the moment in his life where he realized he needs some help. And you basically ruined somebody's wedding. And a lot of people I used to tell people crazy stories about him. And a lot of people probably thought, that's just a kid, exaggerating his home life. I think that was the time where everybody, my buddy Derek, my buddy Daryl, my buddy Paul, they all went, oh shit, you weren't lying about none of them stories growing up.
No
when
doubt.
he saw them, how he reacted at the wedding.
That reaffirmed it. Yeah, big time. Yeah.
So I thought that might be a moment in his life where he's like, I need some help. My brain isn't acting right.
Maybe a blood vessel popped or something.
You know what I think it is, man? I think my stepdad suffers from PTSD, even though he never went to war. Because my thing with me growing up with him, he always said, you don't know what rough is. You don't know what rough is. So I was like, I have no doubt that his childhood was rougher than mine.
Right.
But I think his version is like, well, I can do crazy shit to Gary because my dad did crazier shit than me. So I'm not as crazy.
It's just he's a lunatic. And it's kind of a weird rationale. I mean, you either rise above your childhood, your product of your environment, all that stuff, or you don't. You just wallow in it. And he's still wallowing in it. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of affection for that dude at all.
So
fuck him, man. That's all I'm saying.